Molo Sanbonani, hello, how's it? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Monday, a new week here on Vuka Nazo, your morning news analysis show. My name is Sikhle Ngobese, aka Big Daddy Liberty. And remember, if you're watching this simulcast on Facebook or on YouTube, do me a favor. Hit that like button, smash that like button, and help me grow the reach of the show. Now, if you're watching on YouTube in particular, help me reach another goal of basically reaching 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Join the over 38,400 of you now who are subscribers to the show by subscribing to the Big Daddy Liberty, channel on YouTube. Another thing you could do to get in touch, of course, is to visit our website at bigdaddyliberty.com. This website is going to become critically important. We'll tell you where and when we'll be once we do our tour of South Africa. And also, you can support the show financially via our website. Find a payment method that suits you. Now, with that being said, enough of that jibber jabber. Let's get straight into the news. Okay, we begin here in a story that really exemplifies just how brazen criminals are in South Africa, just how far South Africa is from being a society defined by the rule of law, and just how inept and terrible this current administration has been at enforcing law and order. Watch this video of these brazen cable thieves stealing cables just outside a police station in Reiger Park.
Polisie wat julle hier wat staan, kyk nou hier langs die kap. Nee man, Ja.
Brazenly, these criminals, as I said, operating in front of a police station. Police in this country, under the leadership or lack thereof of a certain asshat of a police minister, Ubheki Cele, literally sitting on their hands, not only at a political level, not only at a senior managerial level, but clearly at a police station level too. How is this even vaguely possible? Let me read an independent piece that captured this particular story well. As you could see in that group, in the video rather, sorry, you saw about a group of 10 men, presumably a gang, seen casually walking away with likely hundreds of thousands rands or tens of thousands rands of copper cable. Now, the police themselves, quoted in this independent piece, said the following. Now, SAP spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Mavela Masondo said, quote, police received information that there were people who were digging and stealing copper in Reiger Park. They received information? Dude, they could have just literally popped to the window and seen it, gone outside and dealt with it. But nonetheless, the piece goes on to say, the police from the local police station and public order policing responded, and on arrival at the scene, the group ran in different directions. I don't see them doing much running, but nonetheless, police found digging tools and some copper cables abandoned. Police have opened a case of theft and tampering with essential infrastructure after some community members allegedly uprooted and stole copper cables in Reiger Park. This is on Wednesday, of course, last week. End of quote. Again, the very fact that it is alleged that these are parts of the community who are doing this, again, also tells you about the nature of how South African society has absolutely eroded the value of the rule of law. It is a dog-eat-dog world where criminals rule the roost. And I've said this once and I'll say it again. Nothing changes until you, the ordinary faith, flag, family, and freedom type South African, bands together with other South Africans who are of sane, sober, moral, and prudent nature, who are law-abiding, and you stand together, form your own community systems that deal with effectively protecting life and property, and work, of course, with those police officers who, and I've always said this, they exist, those police officers who are keen on actually dealing with criminality. That is how we beat crime in this country. Clearly, waiting for politicians or those bad police officers to respond to crime, well, we'll get to situations like these. All right, I take you now to Johannesburg. Now, I must say this, at the time of recording this was prior to me finding out as to who the new Joburg mayor is. But in the running, of course, are three candidates. This, of course, after the DA's candidate, PHALATSE'S, who was the mayor up until effectively last week, Thursday, was ousted in a motion of no confidence. Now, last week, Friday, of course, the election of three candidates was up for grabs. The first, of course, presumably also the front runner, is a one Thapelo Ahmed, who is the leader of Al Jamaa, a Muslim interest group political party in Johannesburg. It also competes nationally in the electorate. Now, you've got to bear in mind, Al Jamaa in Johannesburg is the 9th most popular party. It received the 9th most votes there. It only has 3 seats, if I'm not mistaken, in Johannesburg. So if Thapelo Ahmad makes it into the seat, now again, remember, I'm speaking as I am, because this recording was done on Friday in the morning. But if Thapelo is elected the mayor of Johannesburg, it'll be a very odd situation where the 9th most populous party is in power in that part of the world. Very, very odd situation, one which maybe Johannesburg residents may not be a big fan of, but nonetheless, especially in the context of the fact that he would don the mayoral chain, as the 9th most popular party, and the speaker of the particular Johannesburg council is from the 15th most popular party in that part of the world, COPE. The same, by the way, Colleen Makubele, who we've discussed on the show, who was basically chastised by her party for her treacherous Brutus-like actions as she betrayed her fellow coalition partners, and has basically just said, stuff you, to the COPE, and stayed on as speaker in that part of the world. Again, symbolizing just how much of a clown world situation these coalition agreements and these coalition party politics are. And that's perhaps what I want to focus in on this story, given that I don't know who the mayoral who eventually won that mayoral seat. As I mentioned, let me just conclude this thought. 3 candidates being put forward, having been put forward. One of them clearly would have won. Thapelo Ahmad of Al Jamaa, Funzi Ngobeni of Action SA. Action SA, we'll get to them in a moment. And of course, the DA putting up PHALATSE'S once again as their preferred candidate. Now, it's likely Thapelo will, win and tip the hat in this one, because he has the support, of course, of a few other minority parties, chief of which is the Patriotic Alliance and, of course, the ANC. He was described by the ANC, in fact, with Thapelo as their preferred temporary mayoral candidate. What a clown world situation. And indeed, it comes back to what I really want to chat about when it comes to these coalition party politics. We had this conversation last time where I said the shenanigans, the behavior of these politicians, all of these politicians, by the way, I do not pick and choose. I have no favorites in this. As you guys know, I often say, hashtag politicians are trash. And you see it in moments like these, where egos and indeed political point scoring is much more important than actual stable platforms for governance and government that they can actually deliver on and show the voting public that they as opposition parties can pull this off. I asked you a question in previous Vuka Nazo episodes as to whether these shenanigans inspire confidence as we head to 2024, where there may very well be a need for a coalition arrangement to run national government, with the ANC, of course, polling well under 4% in the most recent polling study. These coalition agreements, these coalition arrangements at a local government level have always been the litmus test as to what we'll see at a national level. And the question I want to leave you right now is really this. Is any of this inspiring confidence in you? Does this bode well for 2024? Does it leave you feeling as though these politicians will be able to put aside their differences and work together? Now, what are these differences? Clearly, these people have personal axes to grind with each other. You see it now, it's almost become a script. Whenever there's been a subsequent motion of no confidence, the finger pointing, the blaming, the caterwauling, the bitching and moaning, whether it's from Action SA, if you have a look at this tweet by Michael Beaumont, almost instantly looking to point fingers at the DA, blame the DA for everything, the DA this, the DA that, the DA this, and then the DA itself instantly blaming others for their misfortunes. Oh, the Patriotic Alliance, they say. They simply didn't want to play ball, or they were being extortionist, or it's always this party or that party. The Patriotic Alliance itself, the shifty snake-like party that they are, clearly not very trustworthy, especially also with their almost rather odd and creepy insistence with their party leader saying that he's, quote, in this for power. That is a very creepy thing to say in a society like ours, where people are hoping you are in this to actually deliver services to all, not just your constituents, but all people who are desperately in need of political parties that put aside their individual shenanigans and actually deliver services for all South Africans. If as a party you're untrustworthy as a coalition partner, if as a coalition partner you're seen as extortionist, or as is the case with the PA, or you're seen as having an axe to grind, as is the case with Action SA, or maybe you're not saying anything at all in this whole fracas, as is the case with other opposition parties, what do you think it leaves an impression of you guys with us, the ordinary voting public? In our eyes, as the voting public, none of you come out dirt-free or looking like a shining marble in the situation. All of you come across looking as a wild, feral, and almost rabid pack of dogs fighting amongst each other, even as us, the ordinary voters, are hoping you guys will get it together and actually govern for the rest of us. Clearly, that might be a pipe dream. Is this a warning for us as voters insofar as Coalition 2024? All right, that's it from me on this episode of Vuka Nazo, and a sad one for me, given where things are in this country. What a way to start the week. But nonetheless, if you like how I start your news day, then you'll love what our friends over at The Daily Friend have for you. That's dailyfriend.co.za, Monday to Friday, live at 1:30 p.m. With that being said, thanks for watching. Hit that like button on your way out. And of course, do me an even bigger favor if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And of course, visit our website at bigdailyliberty.com. With that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow, bright and early, for Vuka Nazo.